So this is my Indomitus Lieutenant, and as you can see, it's one of the first miniatures that I painted when I came back to Warhammer 40k. It's quite noticeable because it looks quite bad in my opinion. And as you can also see, it's one of the first conversions that I tried to make, because I completely changed this arm. And this was the original one, because it has like this open shield pose that I never really liked, so I wanted to convert him into like a regular Bladeguard Veteran, and I didn't succeed because it was looking so bad, and in the end I forgot about him, and that's why today I will try to honor him and make him a nice looking miniature. So for that, what I will do is I will remove this arm with the shield, and I will try to put the shield in the back. Why? Because I had a great idea in the moment to remove the handle of the sword from here, because I wanted to have him this when I first like converted him, but the pose was quite weak and I never really liked him. So today we will try to change that. As his body is also into like a shooting pose, I will use this heavy bolt pistol from the Bladeguard Veteran box. So he will be shooting again. And in the other arm, I will try to use this one also from the Bladeguard Veteran box. So he will be carrying a pistol and a sword, so that will make sense because he's not going to be carrying them in the miniature itself, so it will be in their arm, in their hands, sorry. And I will also change the head, and I will use this head from the Sword Brethren squad from the Black Templars, because I want him to look a little bit more Black Templar, and I will give him this head because it's shooting and it has this like visor, so it kind of will make sense, I hope. So let's start with the process. Sorry my friend, but I guess that you will lose your arm. Oh, sorry. And I will try to remove. I hope that it will be possible. Okay, arm is out. Now this is going to be the complicated part. It was more difficult than I expected, but I managed to remove everything nicely, like leave like the part for the back. I had to remove a little bit more of here to make it more straight, and it fits nicely. It's going to be nice. So I'm quite happy by the results right now. So let's proceed to remove the paint from this guy. Okay, the easiest thing to remove the paint is to use nail polish remover. It's the cheapest option, and always try to use as little as possible because this can damage the plastic. So we take a little bit of the toothbrush and we gently scratch, and you can see that the paint is going away slowly. And we do this and repeat until all the paint. I already removed most of the paint, and there's still some leftovers, but they don't bother me that much because it's in areas that they are not going to be that noticeable, or I don't care that much, so it's okay like that. I like it, and I'm quite happy because the miniature looks much better than it used to look at the beginning of the video. I already glued the new arms. I think that they look cool, and I had to use a different head because of course I want the head to be aligned with the weapon, because of course it's shooting, and I wasn't able to do that with the other one because it was not fitting nicely. And I also think that this one looks much better because it has like these visors with the gun, so it's quite nice. I think I like it a lot, and it looks much better than it looked at the beginning. So, as I usually do with my Black Templars, first of all I like to prime them with Chaos Black. It's always very important to prime the miniatures. And after that I like to give them like a very thin layer of Abaddon Black. So it's quite nice already. I like him a lot, and of course I did exactly the same with the shield that I will paint separately. As usual, when I paint a miniature, I like to go from the most hidden parts to the ones that are more in the outside, and because of that I will start with the robe, and I like to use Corax white, and then I will have some Wraithbone after that, because Corax white covers better the black in the background, and let's say that Wraithbone gives them the color that I like in the end. So I will try to give like a thin layer. I mean, I want to cover the black, but I still want to have like a thin layer. So let's go for it. And at this point it's okay if we paint other things, because as later we're going to paint on top of them, it's not going to matter that much. So it's okay, we just paint nicely. Well, I have to say that I gave it a thinner layer than I expected, uh, but it's still okay. It will look nice in the end. And now that I'm with the Corax Y, I will also use for the shoulder pads, and also for the inside of the shield that I also want it to be white. So let's go with those shoulder pads. And again, I try to be so thin that it's very visible, the black in the background, but this is not the color that will be in the end. This is just a cover of the black, so it's okay. I don't mind that much if it doesn't look too nice right now. we don't make mistakes. What matters is the end of the miniature. So for now we are building towards something. Okay, now I will let it dry. I made it on purpose that it's more whitish here than in the back. And I will do also the other shoulder pad. Okay, it should be nice now. Okay, not bad. And of course I will also use this opportunity to start with the shield, because of course I also want the background to be white. And again, thin layer. I don't care if the black on the background is too visible. And as usual, it doesn't matter if we paint the things on top, because we're going to paint over it. Perfect, so after having this first Corax white layer, I will go for Wraithbone. And it should have like a more dirty, old used ending. And it's maybe too... I want to cover more now. And as usual, it's nice to have like two thin layers. We'll start with this one now. Well, as you can see, I already applied a layer of Wraithbone to the Corax white in the shoulder pads and the robes, and also in the shield. I like to do this. I mean, because I prime black, I like to add a layer of Corax white, because it covers the black nicer, in my opinion. Then I add a layer of wraith bone, and then I will do the highlights with the Corax white again, so it will be more whitish in the places that I want it to be more whitish. But the wraith bone, it's also like this more kind of dirty whitish, so it feels more used in my opinion, and I like it. So now I will proceed to the rest of the details in the robes, and after that we will continue. So let's start with the details here. And as usual, we go for the parts that are more in the inside, and then we go to the ones that are more in the outside. So let's start with the belt, and of course I'm using more fun brown. It's the only brown that I have, so it's not much of a choice for me. And let's proceed to the belt. And also a little bit here. There's not much belt actually, so I will proceed now to there's also belt here, and I will also paint around this part. Because usually when I'm going to apply a layer of something, I like to do it at the same time in every place that it's going to have the exact same color. And this is one of those parts, so I will go for it. Do it a little bit nicer. Okay. And of course I'm also do this part brown. So let's do it. And as usually, two thin layers is the key to success. Everything that I wanted to be brown is already brown, so now it's time to use some lead belcher to the metallic things inside of the belt and such. So let's proceed with it. This is like this is the moment that we have to be a little bit more cautious, because of course we don't want to repaint things that I already painted. Okay. Sorry, because that sword is covered in what I'm painting. Okay, I want it to be nicely painted, and I want these details to be also in this metallic color. Until here. Now I will proceed with this as well. And as usual, you can do every weird movement that you want to paint the things that you want to paint. Nice, and I will do the same here. I'll leave this one for the end probably. Every detail around here that I wanted to be metallic is already metallic, and now I will proceed to the rest of the details because I'm using the color, so I will paint the things that I can paint, like for example the inner parts of the weapon, the blade, the aquila in the chest, and I will also paint these kind of things that I want them to be metallic because the power armor itself is going to be black, so I like this inside at least to be with a shiner color. And I will paint these parts of the whatever this is, whatever the backpack is called, to be honest. So let's go for it. I will get ready my brushes. Okay. Maybe it's more thicker than I expected. And I don't like to apply thick layers, I prefer to apply two very thin layers. Oops. I used the lead belcher to paint every part of the power armor and the weapons, that it's going to have this metallic color in the end. And it's starting to look like a Black Templar, so that's quite nice. And now I will proceed with the shield. I will also try to add this metallic color around the cross part. So let's see how it goes. So I also add lead belcher to the metallic parts of around the shield. I don't want to have like fully golden, so I want to have like this metallic part, and I forgot about the skulls in the inside, so I will paint them with Corax white as well. I kinda want them to be quite visible, so I will add the first layer directly with Corax white, and then I will try to add more volume to it. Oops. It looks quite messy right now, the whole shield, but I don't care that much because I mean everything that should be like on top of it, it's not painted already. Here I don't know why it got so watery here at the bottom. Okay, but it's okay. Later we can add some shade to it, so it's not like the biggest issue. And let's proceed. Okay, so metallic parts painted in the Black Templar, metallic parts painted in the shield. I corrected the mistakes here, and now it's the next step. I will go for the golden colors, and as usual I like to start with the Balthasar gold, and then I like to use Retributor armor for the highlights. So I will proceed with that. I will start with the details here, and then I will go for this kind of thing that I don't know what it is, and maybe also the sword, this here, and in the shield the inner parts. So let's go for it. And as usual, let's do the weird poses to paint the most hidden parts. It doesn't look beautiful in the video, but it needs to be done. Maybe I could make a little more here. Nice. And we do that with every single gold part. And after giving a layer of Balthasar gold in every golden part of the miniature, I will proceed to start correcting the parts that should be black and they are not black. And I will probably start highlighting the power armor, and I will do the same with the shield. I already gave it the gold in the parts that I want gold, and I will start correcting all the mistakes in the parts that should be black. And of course for that I will be using Abaddon Black, so let's proceed with that.
Now I corrected all mistakes. Every time that I painted in the power armor, it's black again, which is nice. It looks quite tidy. And I did the same with the shield. That's starting to look nicer. And of course, now I would like to proceed to start with the edge highlighting of the power armor. But before that, I will paint the eyes because I prefer to do it first. Remember, I always start from the inside to the outside because I think it's the nicest. So I will go with the eyes and these kind of things that it has there. So let's proceed to that. And as usual, with every time that I paint red, I will start with corn red and then I will use Mephiston red to do the highlights. So, okay, let's try to do it carefully and as nicely as possible. Okay. Everything red here. Such a weird thing to see a space marine with like 3 eyes, right? And this corn red is just like a base. I don't expect it to be nice. I will do it nicer later with the Mephiston red, but I want it to be already like reddish on the background. So okay, let's start with the edge highlighting of the power armor. And of course, my method is always to use a Dark Reaper, and then I will go for Fenrisian Grey. So let's start with the edges. And of course, if at some point we make any mistake and we cover more than we wanted to cover, it's nice because at this step we can like go back with painting the area with black again. So it's quite not bad to work right now. And basically every edge of the power armor. I'm going to do it with Dark Reaper.
And it's basically this with patience, slowly going for every single edge. See, it's starting to be like noticeable. I like Dark Reaper on black. So let's do everything and let's show. I mean, I will paint everything and then I will show how it's going. I really like when I add the Dark Reaper to the power armor because it doesn't look as plain as it used to look before, and now it has like more volume to it. It looks nicer. I really like when I add the Dark Reaper. That's why I like a lot this combination of Abaddon Black and the Dark Reaper. And as usual, if there are parts that you consider that you add too much Dark Reaper and it looks too bluish, then you can just use like a thinner brush and add some Abaddon Black to those parts to make thinner the edge highlighting of the Dark Reaper. So it's common to make mistakes. We are not going to make it perfect. So it's always good to go a little bit back and correct things before going to the next step. So of course my next step it will be add Fenrisian Grey to the edges, especially more into the ones that I consider that are going to be the ones that are more exposed to the light. I don't like to add Fenrisian Grey like everywhere, but yes, that will be my next step. So let's proceed with that. I have it like ready here, so let's start with it. Be weird as usual. Let's see. We can make the weirdest poses that we want. I think that we have. Okay, that will be better. And let's proceed. See, this one will give even more volume. This is totally optional, but I like to do it. Because in my opinion it enhances more the power armor itself. See, I already added too much here. This is going to be an issue. I usually make a lot of mistakes in the camera because I'm looking more at the camera than at the model itself, but it's okay. If we make this kind of if we make this kind of mistake, it's not going to be an issue because we can just add a little bit more of Black or Dark Reaper and go back to this step, so it's okay. I will avoid the helmet for now. I will continue with this side, and you can see that you can see that it gives even more volume to the power armor. It looks more, it's more noticeable. And let's proceed. See, I like a lot how it looks now. I'm also using like one brush that it's quite bad. That's why it's quite difficult for me. I really had to change my brushes. It's like I had these ones for too long. Anyway, let's continue and add. See, this is looking more like a Black Templar. I like it. Well, I will proceed with everything. I will make a cut probably because you don't need to see how I highlight everything. And if you're if you're watching this and you want me to record like the whole process, just let me know and I will do it. Okay, so I will continue and then I will show you the results, and of course I will try to fix that. I finished the edge highlighting of the power armor. I still have some things that I could make a little bit better, but for now it's okay. I also add a little bit of edge highlighting to the shield, and I fixed the mistake that I made here in the head, so now it's looking quite nice in my opinion. And now I will proceed to the red in the weapons, and I will also paint red the purity seals that he has in the leg. I don't know if he has more actually, but I know that in the shield there are some, so I will paint them as well red. And of course I will paint every red with corn red and then Mephiston red. So okay, let's start with the handle of the sword. A little bit more here. Let's proceed with the heavy ball pistol. And as usual, it's nice to give a few thin layers over than a thick one. Okay, weapons ready, purity seals ready, and now I will do some highlighting with Mephiston red because it's more vivid and it looks nice. See, we can see that there's a quite such a difference. Maybe I added too much. I'll try to spread it a little bit more. See, now here this is a good angle to see it. See, I like this one a lot. That's why I do the edge highlighting with this one, and I will do the whole weapon with it. And again, I will use this in the purity seals. In the handle, I knew that this was going to happen, that's why I decided to paint this in the end. And of course, same with the shield. Still, the shield is the worst looking part. I will fix it now, don't worry. Okay, nice. And from Mephiston red now. What's left? The rest of the purity seals, and I will do as well the inside of the shield and the purity seals here, and for that I will use Wraithbone again. So let's go for it. Okay, so we go with the Wraithbone and we paint the purity seals. Nice. Same with this one here. And there. Purity seals done, and same with the shield. With the shield I'm having thoughts. I mean, I'm not sure if painting the back part or just leaving it black. Like painting it white the inside, or just leave everything black. I'm not sure, I'm still thinking about that. I'm still thinking. I kinda want to leave it as it is right now, but I don't know. Okay, they look too similar as a shield, but don't worry, I have a trick for that. I will use it later. And I guess that this one should be as well of this color. It's quite dangerous. Because there's not like a nice distinction between the white shield and the paper, but again, I have a trick for that. I will use it later. First it was red before I removed the paint, but I don't like it red. It was too much and too noticeable, so no, I think that I will go for a different approach. Sorry. It's because I paint without looking at the camera. That's why sometimes I take the thing close to me. Okay, not bad. It's weird because there's too many whites there and I didn't add like a clear differentiation between them yet. I'll add a little bit more here. Okay, not bad. And now I will proceed with some gold to the highlights with a Retributor armor for the golden parts. Yes, I think that will be that. So we have our gentleman here, and with the Retributor armor, let's see if it will be noticeable in the camera. Wait, I didn't take any paint. Let's see if it will be noticeable. And yes, it is, right? See, I add only a little. I try to do it mostly in the edges. And we can see that already it's nicer. Especially like compare it with the back, because this is like too bronze, in my opinion, more than goldish. This one, it looks more like this yellow gold. But of course I combine both, because I don't want to be only one color. Like really, it's not that nice looking for me if it's only one color, either this one or the other one. So that's why I like to combine both. And of course I do the same with the sword. Okay. And here, oh my god, I painted the armor already. It's okay, as I mentioned earlier, a little bit of chaos black, and it should be nice. Same here. See, I just add a little bit of gold in the edges. And it looks better in my opinion. Okay, I hope that the light is okay, because I was using natural light, but now that it's getting dark, of course I have to use artificial light. So I hope that it's still okay. Yes, here it's not that bad. So well, I used the Retributor armor for every like golden part to like enhance the edges, let's say. And now I will use Agrax Airshade for the golden parts, and of course Null for all the silvery ones. And of course I will try to use it here as well to enhance a little bit more of the shadows in the inside of the robe. So I will, here I have my trusted brush, and I will start with the Null Oil, because why not? Okay, I will leave it here because I will need more for sure. And let's start with the part in the chest. I have to say that this arm looks kinda cool and it's into the pose, but when I try to show a lot of things, it's like in the middle, and that's not nice. Of course, here in the weapon as well. And of course I'm going to use it to mark these marks here that I painted red, because here maybe, see, with a little bit of more with null they become like black again. Sorry for the lightning. Sorry. Maybe I will try to move it. And with Null Oil I will apply it here. Let's hope that Yeah, better. Let's also do it in the edges and here in the back. Nice. Maybe here. Well, now that I apply it, I should apply everything to mark a lot the wrinkles, and then I will use a little bit of Corax white to mark more the edges. Basically, I like to add shadows to as much things as possible here. Here, weapon has. Here I already added. I will add to this part as well. No, I don't like that much the light here. I will try to do something different. Okay, I think that I fixed the issue with the light. Now it's a little bit difficult to paint inside of here, but I think that I will be able to do it. And it's nice to see. And as I was doing, I will add a little bit of null oil here in this wrinkle part, and maybe here. This one is too visible. I will try to smooth it a little bit more. I just want to look. I want the rope to look a little bit more dirty, and it's okay because I will add a little bit of. Because right now it's like too white, too clean. It's a veteran. You shouldn't think that he just started combat. No. Okay, it looks dirtier now. I like this. Maybe the brushes are too visible, but now I will fix this with a little bit more of white on top of that. And of course, we also have to add null oil at the shoulder pads. So let's go for it. See, we have the shoulder pad here, and we have this line. One nice way to fix that, it's always to use null oil, so it looks more darker, and it's not going to be like a white line there. It's a little darker, so it's kind of nice. I will add a little bit more in this. I don't know how to. A little bit here. Nice. When it dries a little, I will add another layer. So this part, see, at least it's not that white now. And here, see, same circumstance. So let's add null oil. This is my favorite use of null oil, to be honest. The shoulder pads of the Black Templars. Of course, as well. If it's too marked, it doesn't matter, it's okay. Okay, nice. Now we let it dry and we continue. I use now Agrax air shade for the golden parts that I haven't used yet, and it should be almost done. Okay, now I will use Agrax air shade for the golden parts, like these ones, because it is kind of brownish. It looks really good with the gold. I really like how it looks with gold. I really like. As well. Is it visible? Yes, it's visible. Nice. And here. And also here. Oops. And I just put the paint closer to myself, something that I should have done much earlier. Okay, so I will just add a little bit here on the top as well. Okay, nice. And of course I also like to add Agrax air shade to the purity seals, because it will give them this more see, it looks better now in my opinion. Even if I have like a little pull here, it's not that bad. It's like a big shadow, let's say. Nice. And of course, with the purity shields, I will also use it for the shield. It looks much better when we add the Agrax shade. It's simple but effective. I love that, and I will try to do the same with this kinda. I don't know how to call this, to be honest. But now it's much more different than the white background, and I really like that, and I appreciate that. I appreciate it a lot. Okay. I already added to the back of the shield, and now I will add a little bit more of Agrax air shade to the brown things here and there, because this is the only brown that I have. So if I want to make any kind of contrast, I have to use Agrax air shade, because I don't have more. So there it is, and of course I should add it here too. I really think that Agrax air shade is such a lifesaver, like an old oil. They just have different uses. And let's do it here as well. And here is my boy, and now it's time for the most difficult thing. It's doing the Black Templar cross in the shoulder pads. I will try to do my best, and if not, I will have to try to make them as nice as possible after. So let's go for it. Okay, let's go for it. If it looks bad, it's okay because we can add Corax White and fix it, but I will try to do it as nicely as possible. Okay. What I like to do is like mark the center, this approximately, and then I do small triangles. See, one triangle. Oh, it looks super bad already. Two triangles. That one already is too big. And 4 triangles. And it doesn't look anything like Black Templars, but I will try to fix it now. It's very weird for me to do them nicely at the first try. Okay, I will try to... I will try to fix it. Okay. So I still have the concept of the triangle, so it's too dry already. Okay, now the paint is better. Is this a joke? Okay, now I can confirm that there's paint in the brush. And this is the worst. This is the worst. It's okay. I will fix it with Corax White. Okay, let's see if I can fix this mess. Much better, much better. I still need to make this one a little bit higher because I removed too much, but now it looks more like a Templar. Much better, yes. As I said, I never make them nicely first try. I have to try a lot, do and do, do and do. Well, and as you can see, for me, every time that I try to make these shoulder pads, for me it's the same. I try to make them as nice as possible, then I fail, of course, and I have to correct with Corax White. But, I mean, it's not perfect, I don't like one of the size of this, but for now it's okay. I'm not going to stress myself too much over this, and the model is almost done. I have to mention as well that for the shield I decided to leave the back part like black. I add a little bit of Elysian Grey to make it more shiny when it's here, so it doesn't look like it's not painted. And of course, to make the borders nicely, I used Nuln Oil for these edges in the inside, so it looks more neat. And of course, now my last step will be painting the small shield. I'm not sure about what to do, so I will think about something and I will just paint it. Okay, so only the little shield to finish, and I decided that I will go for the classic black and white square, so I will proceed with it. So let's go, my friend. Okay. I decided to go for this classic one because I have the purity seal here, so it will be a nice contrast to have this reddish over the white, so it's not going to be too much. I should have painted this shield first, but it's okay. We can fix everything as I paint something where I shouldn't. Okay, so now I join them. Okay, I have to remove a little bit of there because with the sword and the camera it's not easy to paint this, so I will finish it and show the result. Okay, so once the small little cute shield is done, I will use Stormhost Silver to, of course, use these little dots that are almost not visible but are there. And of course Stormhost Silver as well for the highlights of the weapons. I like to have a little bit here and here because I don't want the whole pistol to be with this metallic tone. I mean the red ones, so I like to add a little bit of different colors. Is quite intense, that's why I try to only use it in the areas that I consider that should be the most exposed to light. Just a little, just a little. And of course I'm going to use it for the edges of the blade as well. But for the blade itself I want to add a little bit of blue now, but only a little, not too much. This I'm not going to put any in the bag. Oi. Nice, nice, nice. I like how it's looking. I like how it's looking. And to end with the process of my Bladeguard Veteran, I will now add a little bit of 1000 Suns Blue to the blade. I want to have this vibe of power sword, but I don't want to do it too nicely. I just want to have like the little bit vibe. So that's why I just add a little bit of just do some kind of like triangle shape from the base to the tip. And as you can see, it's almost like nothing. I just want to have this like the vibe. I don't want to do something too perfectly, just the general glow. I think that maybe it's too much here in the tip, but the good thing is that it's easy to correct things here. Of course, the only two blues that I have after using Thousand Suns Blue, I will use Ariman Blue. And yes, it's quite noticeable that my second army is like 1000 Suns. I'm not very happy with the result. I will because it's too much thicker than I expected. But that's good because now I will correct it and it will look how I want it to look. I'm not even going to let it dry. See, we just add again the metallic color of the blade and problem solved. See, I just want to have like this glow. I don't want it to be like very detailed, just the general glow of the power sword. And that will be my conversion. Let's take a look at it. See, this is my quick, simple, effective way of having like a power sword. Of course it can be much better, but for now this is how my Indomitus Lieutenant converted into Bladeguard is looking, and I think that it's much better than it was at the beginning. So now I will proceed to the last step, that it's going to be glue the shield. I maybe could add a little bit of blue in the inside, but it's not going to be visible, so it's like I don't see the point because it's going to be quite covered. And what I did, it's what I already did. I'm not going to add more to it. Let's see if it fits. It should fit nicely. Oh no. There. Okay, so maybe I should write something there, but not for now. I don't know what to write. You can let me know in the comments what should you write. And I have to admit that the back is more visible than I expected. So this is the final product. This is my Indomitus Lieutenant converted into a regular Bladeguard Veteran, and now it looks much better. I like him a lot and I like it. I'm quite happy with the result, so please, if you're still here watching, consider subscribing and giving me a like. So thank you very much and see you next time.